Today we're taking frozen juice concentrate and turning it into mead. Let's get started. This mead is going to cost us around $15 and will yield about 4 wine bottles or 11 12-ounce beer bottles by the end. This brew is carbonated, but you can always keep it still if you want to keep it that way. To start this brew, you're going to go out and buy some frozen juice concentrate from your grocery store. I'm using frozen cran apple juice for mine, but you can use whatever other options you might find around. We're going to use about 2 12-ounce cans for this mead. You're also going to need about 1 pound of honey, some water, and yeast. I'm using the Lalvin EC1118, which is a standard and easily found champagne yeast that ferments very well. We're going to start our brew day by sanitizing everything that we're going to use in the process and then thaw out our frozen concentrate. I'm doing this in a glass carboy, but you can use a plastic bucket or any other fermentation vessel you might have. Measure out your honey and then add your now thawed concentrate. Add your water to the 1 gallon mark and stir it like crazy. We're then going to pitch our yeast in this brew. I'm taking a gravity reading using a hydrometer. This is a tool that will show us how much sugar content is in the brew before fermentation and after. Our starting gravity for this was 1.070, so we're looking at about a 9.3-ish% ABV brew, assuming that the yeast consume all the sugar, which they will. One final thing that I added was yeast nutrient. I added this when I added my yeast. Yeast nutrient is food for the yeast. Yes, they consume the sugar in the fermentation, but it's not very nutritious. Adding yeast nutrient like Fermaid O will give them a more nutritious and balanced diet, leading to a healthier fermentation. We then added our airlock and stopper onto this and let it ferment. About 2 weeks will go by, and it's time for us to rack it into a new container. We know it's done fermenting because we can look at the vessel and see all the stuff at the bottom, and we can take another gravity reading to see where it's at. The current gravity reading is 1.000. This means that the yeast consumed all 70 points of the gravity and pushed our brew to about 9.3% ABV. We're going to use an auto siphon and tubing to move this brew into a new container. Because I'm wanting to bottle carbonate this, I'm going to get a little bit of that yeast and sediment at the bottom when I move this into the new container. We will want the yeast to aid us in the bottle conditioning process here in a second. If you want to drink this without carbonation or still, you should try to avoid all the sediment at the bottom of the container as you move it. For our carbonated version, you want to add a little bit of sweetness to balance this out. We don't want to back sweeten with honey or a fermentable sugar because the yeast will just continue to consume the sugar that's there until they can no longer do so. So we're going to use a non-fermentable sugar called Erythritol. It's plant-based and adds sweetness without allowing the yeast to consume it. We're adding about 4 ounces of that to the brew. Now, in order to make this carbonated, we are going to have to add a little bit of priming sugar or fermentable sugar. There are lots of different forms of priming sugar, and to know how much you need to add, you need to look at a priming sugar calculator. I'll put one below. Please make sure that you look at the calculator to figure out exactly what you need so you don't add too much or too little. If you add too much, you'll create a bottle bomb, which is not good. We add those sugars in and immediately moved it all into bottles. Make sure you're using bottles that can hold pressure. Any bottle with a cork that is not a champagne bottle will not work in this situation. Throw some labels on there, let them sit at room temp for about 2 to 3 weeks. This will allow time for the yeast to wake back up and continue eating that priming sugar. This will lightly raise the ABV of the brew and create a carbonated beverage that will be fantastic. Once this is all done, chill a bottle down and enjoy. Let's go to the tasting. All right, let's taste test this. It's time. So this has been bottle conditioning for about 3 weeks. I went about a week longer than what I normally do, but it doesn't hurt to go longer. The bottle conditioning process will basically have the yeast consume the fermentable sugar, outputting CO2, creating basically carbonation in the bottle, and then increasing the ABV of this ever so slightly. And that process normally takes about 2 to 3 weeks at room temperature. This was an extremely easy brew to make, and you can make a billion variations on it. Let's see what specifically our cran apple variation tastes like. It's about a month, maybe about 5 weeks since we started this one. We are listening for a hiss. There's a hiss. And we are definitely carbonated. You can't see it because it's a brown bottle, but this is carbonated very well. Let's check it out. Yeah, look at that. Very carbonated, good looking brew. This worked well. I mean, that is effervescent. I think that's the word I'm thinking of. You can see the bubbles on that. That thing looks fantastic. Now, let's check the aroma on it. Definitely smells maybe more dry. There is a little yeasty character on the nose because there was yeast involved in this, the bottle conditioning process. There's a little bit of a boozy nose, a little bit of alcohol aroma, but that's to be expected with something that's probably about 9%. You do get a little bit of apple characteristic, and the cranberry is like a tart note. So let's try it. Ooh, much smoother on the palate. At first I thought it was gonna be very boozy, but it's not super boozy. There's definitely a little bit of yeasty character, and that's gonna happen with bottle conditioning because, again, yeast are involved. The carbonation level is really nice, really smooth. I am drinking it cold, which helps, and it just makes it really refreshing. I mean, it's a refreshing brew. The bubbles are still going. This thing is definitely very carbonated. I really like this. I think cran apple is obviously a very good combination. Lots of people do. This would make a perfect more winter seasonal, which is the season I'm in. You could throw in some cinnamon, some other like maybe spices with this specific recipe to get some fun stuff. Or you could just change concentrates completely. You can find so many options of concentrates online and at your grocery store. All of those can be made into this. And I highly encourage you to try this. Extremely easy, literally takes like no effort. It does take some equipment if you are using glass or buckets or whatever, but it's just part of the payoff. And if you make enough of this stuff, you'll save money. This itself, I'm gonna put the total, how much per bottle would be if you're making, let's say 12-ounce bottles. So that's, I don't know how much it is off the top of my head, but I guarantee you it's pretty cheap to make. And it's definitely very good as well. So here's that recipe card. If you're curious on trying this yourself, sub out whatever concentrate you want. And I would be curious to see your results with this. It doesn't have to be carbonated, but the carbonation definitely adds a lot to this brew, in my opinion. So thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this, and